Like, I'm happy for all the best players in the world finally being back together and literally watching dudes battle it out. But for me, it's like, what is actually changing? Is the rules changing? Is the 54 holes? Is it 72 holes? Is it the shorts? Is it like, where are y'all at with this? Is it just the money? Is the PGA Championship going to be worth $7 million or $8 million next year because it was 3-1? And like, where y'all at with it?
I don't think anybody knows, you know? I don't think they know. I don't think anybody knows. I think
they know. They're not telling us.
They had to do everything super rushed. Like the one dude, Ogilvy, talked after the player meeting and he said, it seemed to me that this shit was leaked and it was about to get out there. So they just had to do an emergency CNBC and like jump on and tell everyone before it got out there because they would look even crazier. It's so much to be figured out. Yeah, they know some stuff, right? It's such like a fire drill. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even tell the players this, that, and the other. So like they're getting questions like that. Like, are you going to shorten the holes? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do team play? And he's just like, you know, Monahan, every time they ask him a question, his first noise is this. He like sucks his teeth before he answers every time, every question. And my man just suck his teeth and then answer. It's like, oh shit, he needed that little second.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to get his
I know what it is. I know what I'm supposed to say. Yep, there you
go. Yeah. It's tough for that guy. I feel bad for him. Sheesh.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is an emergency podcast, part 3 style. We have to talk about some crazy things that are going on. Part 3 podcast, guys. Emergency podcast. We got my man, Stephen Malbon. We got my man, J.R. Smith. You already know me, the Wash Lord. Yo, the craziest news in golf just hit. Let's talk about it, man.
What are y'all thoughts on it, though? Let's start there.
Honestly, I woke up real early, and the first thing I see is from a golf page. And I thought it was, I was like, is it April Fool's? Like, I thought it was a fake. I was like, oh man, because it's never in the, like, there's things you wouldn't think that would happen. I just thought it was cap. There was no way. And then I was like, hold on, wait a second. This really is happening. And then it's like CNBC, you know what I'm saying? Like CNBC ain't gonna put out no bullshit. I was just shocked. You know who the first person I hit was, so.
Steve, what'd you think?
I mean, I just thought like a bunch of different stuff at first. I thought like, first off, I think it's good for golf, right? And then that makes me think like, I'm proud of the dudes that I know that took the money and, went against the grain. And then I feel sorry for my homies that didn't in a weird way. I heard Stephen S. Smith or whatever the name is on ESPN, and he was basically like, the whole sports washing and the PIF and this, that, and the other. And like, saying things like, well, the US government works very closely and is a capitalist country and we work globally. And so the US government, they buy gasoline and oil from Saudi and from Russia. And that's what all of our cars run off of. So it's like, it's okay for the country to work with Saudi Arabia, knowing that they do XYZ like filth. But it's not okay for like 20 golfers to work for them, which is weird. And it's kind of how I felt the whole time. It's like, it's just such a complicated, gnarly fucking topic. And for everyone to jump two ways, like a typical America, like the divided states of America, like half the people are like, love live, the other half hate live. And it's just weird when they like put players in place and make them like, be the spokesperson for the PGA to go and like fight their fight for them. In reality, it's just like a bunch of corporate fucking weird shit that's going on, from like legal issues, bank account issues. There's like so much heavy shit happening, and for them just to be like, oh, they're sports washing. It's like, I think somebody was like busting Brandel Chambly's balls because he's constantly saying, XYZ, but like he works for a station that covers the Olympics in China and in Russia. You know what I mean? It's like so much of that where my head's just like some weird shit going on here, you know, and who fucking knows? Like Jay Monahan's in a hell of a situation, right? He's taking punches left and right on that TV, and he's, you know, they're calling him a hypocrite, and he's saying, you know what, you're right. I am a hypocrite. Like, you can't go that hard and then sneak behind doors for 7 weeks and talk about a little, you know, secret back door clearance path on some legal weird shit and expect people just to be like, oh, good work. It's like, what the fuck's
7
going
weeks,
on?
bro.
I don't know what's going on.
Dog, 7 weeks ago, my life was a little different 7 weeks ago, okay? That's how long 7 weeks. 7 weeks is a long time, bro. This whole shit sound like a fucking divorce, man.
Man. Like, for me, I agree with Steven. Like, I am a person of, I'm American. We're a capitalist. It's just, it is what it is. And when we sit here and look at it and like, and try to boil down, well, this money comes from here, this money comes from there. Like, all this land that we live on now is built off of slaves. So if we really want to get technical with it, when you really talk about it, like, how are you going to sit here and tell me we're better than them because this is where their money came from filth? Okay, if that's the case, our money came from filth as well. I hate to break it to you and go to that barrier, but it is what it is, bro. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and like, oh no, you shouldn't take 400 million because this money came from X, Y, and Z. No, bro, I'm taking 400 million because you would have took 400 million. You took 400 million 400 years ago. Like, and we go back and forth with it, just like, oh, it was 20 years, it's 30 years, it's 40 years. Like, no, bro, like, there's so much worse stuff that goes on today, and they make it seem like is the worst thing in the world. Like 20 golfers going to play and getting paid, and you're more frustrated and mad at that than gun control. I mean, like, how do you sit here and debate and go back and forth with it? It's like, let the guys do what they want to do. They're independent contractors at the end of the day. And if I'm one of the guys who missed out on, first of all, I wouldn't have been one of the guys who missed out on 400, 500 million. That ain't going to happen. But if you offer that type of money and you don't take it, and then now, that's my biggest problem. Like a guy like Rory, you take all the punches, you out there on the front line, you the head captain of the ship, and then the ship gets sank while you sleeping. It comes out on Twitter. You won't even know about it.
Tough.
That's tough.
The worst part about it is, you know what? Everyone gives and hates on Rory and this, whatever. You know what? He's like the nicest guy in the world, bro. He's like really a decent, nice dude. But
Dude, so it just amazing, bro.
Yeah, so it's but like the nice guys don't win sometimes. You know what I mean? No, he's so sure. Nice that like, and he's on there protecting them today, right? He's saying that like personally, it's hard for him to stomach it, but in the big picture, 10 years from now, this is the best thing for golf, which is very, you know, admirable. Like, I appreciate him, and you know, for him to be cup half full with what he's stomaching right now, and his insides are probably twisted, and he's on there like, I have to believe that this is better for golf. Like, it wasn't better for me personally. He's playing like shit. He's fighting everybody's battles. He's fucking exhausted, weirding out, getting sued by people. Like, there's too much shit going on for you to be able to focus and play golf well when like you're the you know, puppet. Hold on, I got a great analogy. Just made me think about it right now because of JR. So JR, let's say in your prime, bro. In your prime.
I'm gone.
In your prime, bro. And listen.
I'm gone.
You're in your prime. Not them. Listen.
I'm gone.
Listen, JR, in your prime, Saudi comes with an NBA rival. They call it SBA. And they're like, listen, JR, you're going to have to leave the Knicks or the Nuggets, and we going to give you 500 M's. And yeah, man, you know, that's it? Just you're done?
I'm gone, bro. You got to understand, for me, that's money that I can change at least 2 to 3, 4 generations with.
Yeah,
my people who look like me, who come from where I come from, that don't come around.
Yeah,
400 million, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we got superstars. We got the LeBrons and the Tigers and Serenas and MJs and all of that. But that's like That's not even a fraction of a percent of the population of black and brown people. It's not. It don't even. Shit like that don't. It don't come around like that. My mom would have to be like, "Yo, honestly, my mom would have to disown me."
That's what I was saying with like Cameron Smith, when they were like, Cameron Smith's not going to do it. He's not going to take it. He's not going to take it. And I'm thinking like, how is he going to tell his parents that he's not going to take $100 million? Like his parents are like, son, I know you're into the legacy and I know you're into the PGA, but like 100 million changes our life, your brother's life, your sister's life, your grandparents' life, your great grandkids' lives. Like you can't just turn away $100 million. That's tough. 200, 300 million. It's like, shit.
Not only that, but you playing a sport where you don't have a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
You literally playing, like, say, like a prime example, like Ricky Fowler. I heard when it came around, they were offering him like 35, 40 million. If this was 8 years ago, he would have been one of the $200 million guys that they're trying to pull away. But so everything that you earning on a golf course is literally off of your own dime on the PGA side.
But let me ask you, JR.
If I'm one of the greatest, I got my card and everything else, why wouldn't I take a guaranteed deal opposed to being the next NFL guy who's going to have a bad back, aggravated, might not make money and all this other shit? Like, for what?
But JR, that's what I was going to ask you. You know who I feel the worst about this for is for Will. Think of Zalatoris, right? Like he may not ever play the same. His back is out. He had to withdraw the whole season, and he turned down 130 M's, and he's young. He's a young cat, bro. So how do you feel about that for someone like that who had the injury that bad where he had to, take the whole year off?
But honestly, and this is a lot of credit to him, but that's how I feel like Brooks was. I feel like Brooks was in a position like he didn't know if his body could hold up or break down or whatever, if he was ever going to be the same again to win majors and everything else. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to take this 125, 150 or whatever. And then if my body holds up and everything else is good, all right, cool, I'm good. But if it don't, then at least I got something to sit on to where I'm not stressing or struggling. Not to say he's stressing or struggling over money, because obviously I think they're all doing pretty well. But at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't I do that? That doesn't make sense. He may not ever be able to play at a professional level ever again. You mean to tell me you just turned down 130 M's for somebody who's not going to give you nothing after you just did what you just did for them? How many raises they had on his playoffs and everything else? They didn't give him a dime after that, other than what was for the purse.
Yeah,
I'm not rolling with that.
There's no retirement, no pension.
No retirement, no pension. You got to pay for your flights, pay for your hotels or house, whatever you rent, and all this other stuff, and insurance. And people don't understand when you got kids and you got family, insurance is a lot of money.
Who you telling me, bro?
I know that. I'm just talking about for the viewership.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, how do you feel about like everyone saw Hideki, right? You know what I'm saying? Matsuyama is like, he flying Spirit, bro. And dog,
they offered him 400. They said,
yeah, 370.
And then I saw a meme that one of these Korean dudes tweeted yesterday morning. They said, if Hideki had took the 400 million, he could have just bought Spirit Airlines.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, this is
right.
wild.
And you think about it, like, that's crazy.
And to say no for what? Like, he's Japanese. He's not even like drinking the Kool-Aid of the American. Like,
no, not at all.
He has nothing to do with that shit and still didn't do it. But I think the media like brainwashed everybody. And not only did they brainwash like us, fans of golf, they brainwashed the players, where the players were like, I can't do it. I mean, there's some weird shit, but people they never stopped. Even like last week, 2 weeks ago, I heard him saying that like the Ryder Cup people, they shouldn't let LIV people play for their country. And it's like, but they're still American, and they're just money grabbing. No one gets paid for the Ryder Cup, so they're going to play for free to represent their country, and they're still like, nah, they shouldn't be able to do it. It's like, you guys are weird.
Yeah, dog. Because
weird, bro.
Dustin Johnson and Brooks need to represent the USA, bro. This is crazy. What's crazy is when all this
not have Cam Smith on the European team.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the great. He's top 5 right now, top 10.
Yeah. I mean,
He
bro,
can't play on the European team against Brooks and everybody. Like, and he can't. Him and Rory teaming up. Like, you know what that would look like?
I just think it's weird that 7 weeks and then everyone outside of the negotiations, right, were totally blindsided. Tiger Woods was blindsided, bro. Not even Greg Norman, bro. He's the CEO of LIV. How the hell you not tell the shark?
Easy. If I'm LIV, that's easy.
Damn.
Not telling him, that's the easy side. The hardest side on the PGA is Rory, Tiger, 900, 600, 700.
Yeah.
Hideki, 400. Like, you pay, like, the money that was out, not even, let's just leave the money out of it. The actual position that you put these guys in to literally stand in front of y'all, be the shield for this whole situation for the PGA Tour, and then you don't even tell them. They got to find out on Twitter.
It's like that thing I sent y'all, that the Donald Trump tweet from like the day after Cam Smith won. He basically said, like, you know, congratulations on whoever's taking the money, and the people who aren't taking the money, it's inevitable. PGA and LIV are going to merge. And when this happens, all of you who were loyal to the unloyal PGA, you're going to miss out on a lot of money. And then it's like, that's what happened. Oh,
100%.
fucking, like, tee it up in the sandbox guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the LPGA has Saudi events. Tiger was going over there to Saudi and doing exhibitions for 30 million, 20 million.
So
Roy. Now
Roy.
y'all got a conscience?
Yeah. I mean, Roy was doing the Saudi thing.
No, it's all just the PR. It's the PR. It's like when Michael Block, the homie, my buddy, Michael Block makes a hole in one and gets top 10 or whatever he did, which was, amazing. But like, they didn't want to talk about Brooks winning. So they didn't talk about Brooks winning. They just talked about Mikey Block, the block party, the block party, the block party. Like, no one even knows Brooks won the PGA Championship.
Right.
Which is like, that's by design. All of this shit is by design on some propaganda and like program people's brains to like get what we want. And, it's hard for me to not let my brain wander to like, what type of weird shit's really going on behind scenes? What are they covering up? You can't go tell Tiger and Rory, hey, we're going to merge with them. How are you going to tell them that? Like, no wonder they didn't tell anyone. Like, you can't call them up. Hey, Tiger, I told you not to take that money, and we would never partner with them because, they shoot their journalist or whatever. But, like, now we're partnered with them.
Yeah, that's the only part, the moral part with him, because it's not going to change Tiger's life. Okay, he's going to go from 1.7 billion to 2.6.
That's going to change his life. That's going to change his life. Now, another 900 million?
No, I know, I'm just saying, but he's already a billionaire.
Yeah, I mean, what's better than 1 billion?
No, I get it. I'm just saying.
3.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Let me ask you, guys, what do you think's going to happen next week in Los Angeles, Bo, at the U.S. Open? Like, I think, look, the hecklers are already out. You know what I mean? They've been getting worse and worse at these majors. I just think that Rory is not going to be able to be out. He's not going to be able to hit a tee shot. They're like, hey, what's up, Rory? Your paycheck come from LIV now, whatever. Or you getting paid by the Saudis now. Like, they go.
Disgusting. They're going to go. The whole thing. It's just foul that, like, Max Homa said, he tweeted today, like, I can see how my interviews are going to go. It's going to say, hey, Max, you're a local kid. You've done really well in California. How does it feel to be in the LA Open? And what do you think of PIF and PGA Tour? Like, it's like no one cares. No one's going to talk about it. Who do I think is going to win? The same people I thought was going to win the PGA Championship. Brooks, DJ, and I said Max Homa. Those were the 3 I said, and look who won. Brooks, right? Like, Rory's not going to win. My boy's head's all over the place. Like, we'd be lucky if he shows up. I mean, he does not want to be out there.
Over the last couple of days, he gonna show up,
bro. He has to show up, Doc. He has to show up.
But in his mind, he's thinking like, God damn, I just want to lay in bed and hide. This too much shit. They got me in the belly of the beast right now, and it's not going to lighten up.
Belly, bro. No,
I forgot, bro.
It's only going to get worse.
I forgot. They offered Finau 9 figures too. They offered Tony, but Tony's always been non-political about anything. He's just chill as fuck. Like Victor Hovland. you don't see him talking about anything. These dudes is chill dudes, you know what I'm saying? And just, but even if you're like, I mean, I saw a dude who's like literally ranked, T150. He was talking a lot of shit on Twitter, and like, he's like, fuck, I would have took it. I would have took 20 million.
Bro, I got 4 girls. If you offer me 500 million, I'm giving my girls 100 million apiece and leaving that shit in an account. Yeah. And I'm going to spend 50 of it, and 25 and 25 go to my mom and dad.
No,
that's
you're right.
it.
Like what?
What's funny is hey,
easy
Steven.
Equation. Easy.
It's been a long day. Time for a long drink.
The finished drink.
Proud sponsor of the Par 3 podcast, Long Drink.
Get yours at longdrink.com.
Cheers.
I heard the LIV's working on like paying celebrities, paying for their flights, giving them cash to show up for pro-ams, bringing their people with them, putting them in beautiful, facilities and such, flying them out private or first class, obviously, and then putting a bunch of cash in for cash prize pro-am. So the amateurs are competing for $1 million.
Damn, bro.
I like we're working and doing collections with the PGA Tour, but like a lot of this shit that's happening, things like that, like a lot of stuff good. Like I heard Rory today said, I still hate LIV. It's like, yeah, but dude, LIV got a lot more money for the PGA Tour just because they're shaking shit up. So like, cup half full, there's more money in the pot now for the PGA players, right? There's the PGA Tour is looking at like small brands like Malbon and being like, we should work a little bit more, think a little differently how we do our merch. They're doing this thing now like LIV's doing with the celebrities and the way they're going to treat them, et cetera. I mean, like the PGA Tour does the Pro-Am, AT&T Pro-Am, like, I caddy for Q. Q's got to pay for his own flight, pay for his hotels, pay for everything. Like they don't give him any money. They make him do a performance or two, and like Justin Timberlake used to do it. And it was like, this isn't like leveling, like this isn't quite right. Like, I don't know why it's like they don't make A-Rod like have people running routes and throwing footballs with the fans just because he's a famous football player, but they
A-Rod's a baseball player,
Macklemore
bro.
You get my point. Like who's the other guy? No, the A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he plays in it, but like then they make the performers go and perform. So like on the other side of that, it's like, well, how could we really make celebrities want to come and play in tournaments? It's like give them a cash prize, fly out their people, put them in a house. So like this stirring the pot is making things better. And like I'm honestly happy that this shit happened because like there's multiple tours that are all going to be kind of running in the same direction, and they're going to be able to run up the money in the bag in all different tours. It's going to trickle down into the LPGA, and there's a lot of good stuff that will come out of it. But who knows, man? It's a sticky time now.
It definitely is. Like for me, that's why like again, like that whole concept of just like being so. I think it was Jay Monahan was just so against it, so going crazy, going nuts, and without even having like, and I can't necessarily blame him because he's probably only reading what he's seen come out on Twitter or whatever else initially. But even like after time goes on, you still this hard against it, and then out of nowhere it's just like, oh yeah, I was wrong.
No big deal, right?
Like bro, you broadcasted this for months.
I'm wondering now, are they going to start posting their athletes that are on the tour? The only person that had Nike kind of supported, you know what I mean? But other than that, these big golf brands.
Adidas dropped DJ, right?
Yeah. Adidas dropped them.
And even like stuff like that, it's like, who knows why they really dropped them? You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird shit going on with Adidas and the global economy. And like, there's all types of wild shit. So who knows? Why did they drop DJ, right? It's like, what's the real reason that they dropped him? Like, but I know this, I went to TaylorMade and they had posters and this huge oversized prints all over the headquarters of like Matt Wolf, DJs, and like those people aren't on the wall anymore. Now it's just Rory, DJ, and I mean, Rory, Tiger, and Colin, right? Yeah. So like, it's an interesting time. And I mean, I think the most foul part of it is like, I heard Claude Harmon did an interview like a week or two ago, and he just went on black. Like he just spoke like very common sense, smart American person that was explaining it from his point of view, right? He's Brooks is coach, and
Brooks and DJ.
DJ. And he's just like, what hurt those dudes the most is that like the media and whoever was like, they're not competing at the highest level. Their swords aren't sharp. They can't come and play with the best tour in the world, the PGA. It's like Brooks is looking at them dudes like, I'll beat y'all like I used to. Like, are you crazy? How can you be number one in the world, play golf every day for 30 years, and then you play, a little less 1 year? It's like he's still putting, he's still hitting balls, he's still training, he's still playing the Tiger tees when he goes to medalist. He's not like moving up to the senior tees. Like, what are we talking about? He's still Brooks, Koepka, Dustin Johnson. Like, those dudes aren't going to get, if they didn't play golf in a year once, they're still Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka.
No, for sure. They're saying the argument was 54 holes versus 72 holes. But I remember
that shit matters.
No, it does. I was talking to Anthony Kim. Anthony Kim's like, fuck, 54 holes is better. Shit, I'd rather play 54 holes and play 72. Fuck that. But like,
what matters is that they make a lot of birdies and they can putt lights out and they hit the ball really far and they have something in them that's like, they like beating people. You know what I mean? Like, they like to beat people. And then you see it like Augusta, the last day, 2 of the top 3.
Phil Mickelson, bro, come on, man.
Phil out there ripping. It's like, dude, these dudes are good at golf. They're not going to be bad just because they like, how are you going to, and that was the narrative for a year. Like, they can't play anymore. Like,
because Phil's 52 or 53. How old is Phil? 54? 53?
I think he about turned 53 I think.
Okay, so the whole first day when Phil wasn't playing great, they're like, yeah, old man, hang it up. You 53, man. You washed up. Stop it. Dude, I was like, oh, maybe he is. I don't know. And then the last day, Lefty came back creeping.
But I think even if you put it to 54 holes, that doesn't change the pressure that guys are going to feel out there. If you say, okay, there's no, that last 18 is just going to be the same 18 as if it was 72 holes. If you're playing for money, for $4 million for what? The PGA Championship, I think Brooks won 3.1, which was a pay cut.
Yeah.
He wins 3.1 million on a regular LIV event, he wins 4 million. But if he plays 54 holes, that doesn't change the shot he's going to hit on 18 if he plays 72 holes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't change the shot he's going to hit on this par 3 that's 155 yards opposed to somebody else. Now, what's going to change is the same dynamic of him being the guys being nervous who's trying to catch him or who's trying to win with the lead. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be a shorter round. It's going to be 54 instead of 72.
And you see, even like at the Masters when he was winning, Brooks was winning, like, he went out there that last round and he got beat bad by Rahm, right? Like, Rahm rallied because, for whatevs, and Brooks felt like shit, I'm sure, and he left and da-da-da. And then I heard him on an interview the day before the last round of the PGA Champ, and he said, tomorrow I'm going to play like a caveman. Like, I'm thugging out there tomorrow. Like, I'm not just playing to not lose. I'm playing to win, and I'm going to play like a caveman, hit it as far as I can, hit it by the hole, and make the putt and move on. And, you can see he went and did that because he, obviously those dudes, the money aside, like, he does not want to get beat. He was up by 5 at Augusta and loses the tournament, shoots like a 80 or some shit. Like, whatever he shot, 75. It's like, oh. My man, he probably punched the window of his Mercedes again.
I didn't understand. I didn't research it because I haven't had time to, but I don't understand how Nike, you see that deal that Nike's offering $2 billion for Brooks's team. They want to do a team swoosh. Is that would just be endorsement?
Wait, they doing what?
So Nike.
It says the internet says that Nike's going to pay $2 billion to basically be the sponsor of Brooks's full team. So it's called, I forgot the name of his team.
Oh, of his LIV team.
Of his LIV team. So they'll sponsor Brooks and his 4 or 5 homies on his team. And that will be considered the Nike team.
But they said they don't want to call it Team Nike, so they want to call it Team Swoosh. Because it sounds cool or whatever. But bottom line is $2 fucking billion. God damn, Nike. Like, I don't know, man. Because if that happens, then... Too.
That's a lot of cheese, bro.
But listen to this one. Like, Jay Monahan is now the CEO of all the leagues. Like,
So what
when's he
so what happens?
resigning? How much can he take?
So what happens to
how
to
much
Greg
money
Norman
did they
then?
give him in that offshore account? Is what I want to know.
Oh shit, a lot, bro, a whole lot. And on top of that, they didn't want to open the books.
I want the golfer money. Give me 150, 200.
And now
Offshores,
No big
slide it
deal.
over here.
No
I got
big
it.
deal.
Don't worry
No
about
more
it. I smooth
courts.
all this shit over.
Yeah, it's over.
You see his interview on the Golf Channel? The dude is the biggest politician up there, like deferring everything. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, how could you
JR, he
even
was
sit there and
trained
have an
well.
Interview?
He was trained real well.
So well. He literally looked like he was being trained by a politician's assistant or something. Like, he was literally not answering anything. Well,
that happened 7 weeks ago.
I'm like, what?
7 weeks ago, he started the PR training. You know what I mean? It was
He
like,
knew.
you're going to need it, homie.
Let me ask you a question though,
He was reading
JR.
off that prompter.
JR, if you was about to get a few billion and you knew you was about to get hate galore from the internet, from Twitter, from everyone you knew, would you give a fuck? You had 7 weeks to
I
prepare?
get hate now. I get hate now. I got more hate in the last 20 years of my, like, man, are you kidding me? I don't give a damn what y'all say.
Yeah. Damn. So honestly, what you think's gonna happen? I mean, the Ryder Cup situation is interesting because what the hell? But I mean, look, dude, it's only been, it's still, dog, I'm just really curious. After the US Open, a lot of shit's gonna have to change, right? Like a lot. A lot.
Like, are the pros gonna start wearing shorts now?
Oh yeah.
I hope not. I fucking hope not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit is not the look.
Okay. Are you gonna have hecklers though? Are you gonna be able to heckle people?
I hope so. I hope
You know
so
what, though?
on
Like
that
the
one.
Phoenix Open? How is this gonna help? And that's where I'm at for me. Like, I'm happy for all the best players in the world finally being back together and literally watching dudes battle it out. But for me, it's like, what is actually changing? Is the rules changing? Is the 54 holes? Is it 72 holes? Is it the shorts? Is it like, where are y'all at with this? Is it just the money? Is the PGA Championship going to be worth $7 million or $8 million next year because it was 3-1? And like, where y'all at with it?
I don't think anybody knows, I don't think they know. I don't think anybody knows. I think
I think they know. They're not
Well,
telling
they had
us.
to do everything super rushed. Like the one dude, Ogilvy, talked after the player meeting, and he said, it seemed to me that this shit was leaked and it was about to get out there. So they just had to do an emergency CNBC and like jump on and tell everyone before it got out there because they would look even crazier. It's so much to be figured out. Yeah, they know some stuff, right? It's such like a fire drill. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even tell the players this, that, and the other. So like they're getting questions like that. Like, are you going to shorten the holes? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do team play? And he's just like, Monahan, every time they ask him a question, his first noise is this. He like sucks his teeth before he answers every time, every question. And my man just suck his teeth and then answer. It's like, oh shit, he needed that little second.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to get his
I know what it is. I know what I'm supposed to say. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. It's tough for that guy. I feel bad for him. Sheesh.
I follow a lot of PGA players, right? The PGA players that have close friend stories, you see like the different levels, right? I don't want to put them on. I'll put them on blast. Like Siwoo Kim, he's Korean, he's super Korean. You see him on the PJ, and then you see like a couple other people on the PJ, and then you see some other dudes who are still like, they've won an event, they do okay. They only have like 17,000 followers, but they're like, leading the entire event to like whatever, like my boy Lipsky or whatever. And then you see them like, Flying Spirit or Southwest and some shit. And you're like, damn, bro, like it's a real different, the gap is so big.
It's a grind.
Let me ask you this one, Ben. Here's one for you, Ben. You made Colin Morikawa's wedding ring for his wife. Is that right?
Yeah.
How many carats was it?
Big.
How much bigger it would it have been if he took that 160?
Oh, it would have been a different level because it would have been. It would honestly
buy 3 of them, Jones. You can have a rose gold, yellow gold, white gold.
And I love Colin. He's such the nicest guy. He's a sweetheart, right? I think, and even though cat is like, so she's so chill. I know for sure it probably would have been double digits. It'd have been in the 10 plus. It'd have been on some obnoxious shit. I think so. Even though they're chill, but like that's a different thing. You know, he's fairly humble. You know, but like, yeah, if Colin did get 200 M's, shit, man, he would have.
And I think that's another part of the game that, like, which I love, because I feel like a lot of the guys are very like humble with it. Like, don't get me wrong, like I hear the way I talk, but like for a lot of other guys are just like, no, I love the game. Like, this is just, I love to play, and I would rather hear people say, I love to play in the PGA Championship or PGA Tour because I've always wanted to play in the PGA Tour. I grew up wanting to play on the PGA Tour. I grew up idolizing Tiger. I wanted to win the green jacket. I wanted to win the PGA Championship. Stuff like that, I can give you that. But when you start going to this moral code and all this other, like, nobody's morals is the same.
Bro. Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Stop it, bro. Look, man, when Brooks got injured and he was like, whatever, I was kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't really talk about it. When Full Swing came out, I started kind of rocking with Brooks again. But then when Brooks was in contention at the Masters, I was like, hold on. Because I drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. I was like, okay, the 54 holes, these guys ain't really with it, you know, whatever. And I was like, wait a second. Nah, dog, he with it. Then the PGA Championship, you saw the determination. If the purse was $1 million, he didn't even care about the money, bro. He wanted that chip. He wanted that trophy so bad. And to beat everyone and all that shit talking, all the chirping that was going on. And then Brooks won. He beat fair and square. And you can't say nothing. He beat everyone. It was a major. That was legit.
And it's crazy. I seen him on the range at Floridian about a month and a half ago. And to Steven's credit, it's like, he's still Brooks Koepka. Yeah. I'm watching this dude hit balls on the range, and I'm looking like, oh my God. Like, what are they talking about?
It looked different, sound different?
It sound different. It looked different. The feel of the golf club looked like I literally learned so much without saying a word just watching him. I'm like, oh my goodness, this dude is amazing.
Yeah.
Wild times. I feel it's a lot to see and a lot to come. It's just the beginning of, like, the shakedown street is in full effect right now. Who knows what's happening?
Shakedown, right?
Listen,
they
in the
over here
history,
robbing people with no mask.
And it don't matter because if I didn't follow golf 10 years ago, I've been on Twitter since the day Twitter started. Twitter's always been this crack spot for sports. You know what I mean? Especially NBA Twitter, go off, baseball Twitter, football Twitter. Golf Twitter has never been this lit in the history of Twitter. It was on fire. Out of the top 10 trending, like 7 or 8 of them it was insane. It was like, it was crazy. And the golf it's like you said, it's good for the game, Steven. It's going to grow. It's bigger.
It's shocking, you know, when they shit on LIV for 2 years or whatever, and they shit on all the players and they just moraled it out, this and that, da 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 da, and then one day just fucking merge with them. It's like, wow. It's got everyone just shocked where that shit's bigger than golf. That's like, and everyone knows too. It's like on some like that, you know, there was that meme rolling around from Succession with like Tom and the daughter holding hands, you know what I mean? And it was like that whole shit, what just happens on like some Succession shit. It's like, there's so much going on behind closed doors and 4 on the floor and all that wild shit happening that, like, what are you going to do? I'm just excited to watch it all unfold. Like, this shit is going to be entertaining. No question.
I don't think
we've reality TV that we've seen in actual reality in a long time.
It's amazing television.
I don't think we've seen shit yet.
Nobody's an actor. Nobody's like been coached. Nobody's like really been. You can sell everybody just living in their emotion and just trying to like, this is earned. This is earned. I love PGA
guys are so low key, you know what I'm saying? They're not like, they just don't have that same, I mean, I'm not trying to diss, I'm just saying they're way different when you see like an NBA player, the swagger of an NFL player, whatever. This shit, and we haven't even seen, what about a week from now? What about after what about the British, the Open?
Dude, what about tomorrow?
I know.
Bro, the thing about it, like for me, I don't like the way it wedged gaps in between the players. Like, you really turn players against one another.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Like, it's different. Like, okay, a Patrick Reed and a Rory. All right, y'all already didn't get along, so it wasn't really You know what I'm saying? But like when you got like a prime example, I'm at Grove today. I see Brooks and Ricky playing. I'm like, that's a LIV guy. That's a PGA guy. But to see them together and it's just two good guys. Nothing's wrong with either one of them. They're both great dudes. And they're just out enjoying playing the game. It's not about a LIV. It's not about PGA Tour. It's not about this. It's not about that. You're just out here grinding. Like, what do you like? I don't like that pinning guys against one another just because. Oh, I believe this is to be true. Oh, I believe this is to be true. Well, both of y'all motherfuckers wrong. How about that?
Yeah, both. Neither of you know what the fuck's going on. Even like, I love how at the dinner at the Augusta National, like Phil took the high road. He said he just didn't talk to anyone. Phil just sat there silent for the whole champions dinner. Didn't talk to one person because like 75% of the people in that room have been taking shots at him. You know, like Phil's old. He just took the money. He's into the blood money, this, that, all this bullshit. And he's like, bro, I played golf with you for 30 years. I've given my whole life for the fucking tour and for golf. And like, you guys all at one time turn on me like this, lost every sponsor in 2 days. My man was buying shit at H&M and Uniqlo to wear. He had no clothes to wear. Like, wow.
Listen, dog.
Pack, man.
I know. I was working on it. I couldn't pull it off.
You know, that's a lot to go through, like for somebody like him, somebody his stature, the accolades, what he's done for the actual game, and you go into a champions dinner, or an event where you won multiple times. Not like you're a one-time champ and you won on a fluke. Like, no, you are legit Hall of Famer, and like you're Phil Mickelson. You go into a room like that and you don't say a word to nobody. Like, bro,
I wouldn't even gone.
That takes.
But I like that he went.
I like that
he
went.
I know. I'm just saying.
But the biggest thing, he wasn't fake about it. When I'm pretty sure people try to come up. Oh, hey Phil, woo, woo. After he taking shots, and he
give him little soft pounds like, yo, what up?
How about this? I'm dealing with that right now. Steven, I'm dealing with that right now, Steven. That's crazy. Think about it. You know what I'm talking about. So it's like, that shit it's disgusting.
It's tough, man. That's tough, especially when you do so much for the game and the youth and the community. Like,
in your whole life.
Yeah, like your whole, literally.
Because he was a kid from like Arizona or wherever he went to school, right? Like he never wasn't Phil Mickelson.
Right.
You know, and then all of a sudden he's like the villain. For months, they're just killing him. All his sponsors dropped him in a week.
That's that media, man.
Damn, bro.
That's the power of the media, because literally, if the media would have said, oh, you know, Phil's a great guy, X, Y, and Z, he's this, he's that, da-da-da-da. He keeps all his sponsors. Oh, he's over the hill.
Nah,
he's this,
for sure.
He's that, he's da-da-da-da.
For sure.
Oh, drop. It's like, don't get me wrong. I heard people don't like him and everything else, but like at the end of the day, if he's drawing in and he's doing his job. You don't have to be the most likable person amongst your peers. If you do your job to the extent to which he has done, you create a following in which he has done. People come to see Phil play.
Yeah,
people don't want to believe that. Like, yes, Tiger has the most draw and attraction, but people come watch Phil play. Let's not get it twisted.
Nah,
it's
for
Phil,
sure,
bro.
I don't know, bro. I hope something good happens. You know, for the Corn Ferry, for the LPGA, like you said, Steven. I hope there's more money for them.
Epson Tour, the Epson Stars.
I want to see the LPGA
they deserve the money, bro.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it because I feel like the LPGA can only benefit from it. You know, the purses will start coming up, and the draws and attraction will start getting higher, and I feel like that's just where the game needs to be because they can play, man.
And then even like with the you're saying is like, are they going to make noise? Like what Avery was saying a couple weeks back, like we don't want it to be silent and then someone swings and you yell in their backswing. But if there's noise, consistent noise the entire time, there's no shocking factor. It's like if you let them have more noise, more fun, more booze, more party, more rah-rah, then like you're going to have more young people come and participate. So like, shit, that's what's going to get Epson Tour, Corn Ferry, Champions Tour, PGA Tour, LPGA Tour. That's what's going to get them more money, more fans being happy with the experience.
I'll tell you what they ain't doing it at LACC. They ain't letting that happen.
They don't have mad cops
walk you
around
right out
there.
the Wilshire. They gonna walk you right out the Wilshire Boulevard. Say, have a good
They
day.
gonna throw Ben Baller's ass gone later. Ben in a full Nelson.
They don't like tattoos.
Boston crab.
Bro,
Yeah, you better wear sleeves on me.
Hey, they don't like tattoos. Bro, Steven, just 3 weeks ago, they gave George Lopez trouble. It's crazy, right? They were like, who are you here with? And he's like, oh, Mr. Smith. He's like, oh, that guy's a new member here. And George is like, just want to fucking
stand over there. Let us make a few phone calls, Mr. Lopez. We'll let you know if you can putt.
We'll figure it out if he's here already.
Yeah. You better stay over there.
Just wait by your car.
Shit. All right, y'all. I love y'all, man. Thank you guys, man. I really appreciate it. And then,
bro. Appreciate you.
See y'all soon.
Enjoy it.